Hey everybody, it's Karen with Food and Family. I'm getting ready to start my dinner tonight, and I'm going to make for us what I like to call good stuff. And it's a mixture of squash, okra, potatoes, onions, and green tomatoes. But tonight I'm going to throw some smoked sausage in it, and we're going to make it a one-pot meal. Last summer, and I'm down to the end, I canned some squash and some okra, and that's what I'm using. Now, I've rinsed it really, really well because it has the vinegar in it you'd be able to water bath can it. So I've rinsed it really well, and I've got it draining right here. So I've got some potatoes that I started cutting up, and now it's just me and Pop. So what I'm cooking, I try to cut down, but I still think it's probably going to be too much. So you know what? Here I can have it for lunch. We can have it for lunch tomorrow, but it'll still be good next week if he wants to take it. So I'm cutting these potatoes really small because everything else will get cooked really quicker than they will. And I'm going to start them first. So you see how small of these cubes I'm making them. So they're not very big. So I'm going to go ahead and get some oil going in my pan here. And I'm going to get it up here where you can see it in just a minute. I don't want a whole lot. I just want enough oil to coat the bottom of this pan. So I'm going to go ahead and put my potatoes over in here. So we'll let them get started. And while I've got those in here, because I'm doing them separate from my squash and okra, I'm going to go ahead and salt and pepper them a little bit. Potatoes love salt. They need salt. They require salt. Okay, so here in this, you see the squash and the okra. Can you see how pretty that is? Now, that was canned last summer. And this actually, not the okra, but the squash came from my little garden I had last year. And I did not plant squash this year, nor did I plant okra. But you see this tomato? This did come out of my garden. Pop went down and picked it this morning. Because y'all know I love green tomatoes. And if you didn't see it, go out and look for the green tomato cake. I used my homegrown tomatoes for that. And it sounds strange, but guys, that is an amazing cake. Okay, so I'm going to get my tomato sliced up and in here, and then we're going to slice our onion. These potatoes are going, and we can have this dinner pulled together in no time. So let me get this finished cutting up, then I'm going to cut this onion up, and I'm going to come back and we're going to get this pulled together, okay? I've got these tomatoes and the onions chopped up. Looky there. Isn't that beautiful? Now, I just did a rough chop on it, and I'm fixing to season it up, but I need a spoon to mix it all up. So let's just kind of stir it around a little bit. And, yeah, it smells good, and I haven't cooked it yet. But these potatoes cooking, oh my goodness. That was maybe, that wasn't quite a teaspoon of salt. And some black pepper. We're going to use a little bit of thyme. I like a little thyme. Thyme gives it kind of a fresh, to me, a fresh lemony taste. I want some onion powder and some garlic powder, but I don't need a whole lot. I'm just going to use a little bit. I'm going to use maybe a teaspoon of onion powder. I know I've got onions in it, but it gives it a little different taste. And the same with the garlic. Maybe just a tad. No, I want the same amount of garlic as I do onion. So, but I'm going to add just a little bit of red pepper. Y'all know onion and garlic powder and red pepper are my go-tos. And I don't know why. I just love them, and I think they're some of the best seasoning. You can season with whatever you want, however you like it. Now, I'm going to add, let's scrooge all that out of the way. I want to add a little bit of flour. I'm going to do some self-rising flour and some cornmeal. I want that combination. And I just like that combo. And a lot of times if I'm just frying tomatoes, fried green tomatoes, I'll use just cornmeal. But lately I've got to where I kind of use a mixture of cornmeal and flour. I've started to like it that way. Let's see what that does. Let's see what that does. Okay, so let's get it stirred around. We just need it coated lightly. It doesn't need a heavy coating. And I'm going to put the smoked sausage in it, but I'm going to put that in just a little bit. I'm not putting it in at the moment. Oh yeah, see, that might have been half a cup of each. Maybe half a cup of each, and that's all. See, you just need that light coating. Okay, so I want to bring this skillet up here. Now, I turned that down. I'm going to turn it up because I didn't want those potatoes to get too done. So while that's coming back up to temperature, let me move this stuff. Move that knife out of the way. We don't want to be cut. Okay. Keep it all neat here, right? Okay, so, ooh, that's getting warm now. I'm going to pour this right in. Can you see down in that skillet? Pour that right in. And see, that was just enough to coat without having a lot extra left in the bowl. Now, put that in there, and I'm going to let that settle for a minute. Then I'm going to get in there with this spatula, and I'm going to scoop it and bring those potatoes up and have them mixed in with that squash and green tomatoes. So let me get this going for a little bit, and I'm going to come back and I'll show you what this looks like. You know, this is coming along beautifully. I'm going to try to get this skillet down here so you can see in it. Now, I'll put a lid on it. And what that lid does is keeps that steam in there, so it steams through these vegetables, through these potatoes, and helps get them done. So, can you see in there how beautiful? Now, I just stirred it a minute ago, so I'm just going down to the bottom and bringing it up and over. Can you hear that sound? I'm sure you can. But this is not done yet. But I'm going to put the sausage in it. Now, I have, y'all know, I've talked about it before, Acreage smoked skinless sausage. So I'm just cutting them in rings, and half an inch thick maybe. And I'm just going to scoop them right over in there. Now, I'm going to get rid of that pan. And I'm going to spread these around, and we're going to stir them in, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put that lid back on so it'll steam these sausages through. Now, the sausages are basically thoroughly cooked. It's just a matter of getting them hot and getting a little color on them. So let me get the lid back on. I want to get these all tucked down in here and get them browned. So hopefully the next time I see you, I'll have these taken up out of the pan and we're going to try this delicious meal. I have this delicious meal all pulled together. Can you see that? But I went ahead and took it out of the pan and got everything. I sliced a tomato from, this is from my garden, red one. That's a Cherokee purple tomato, and they're delicious. And here's dessert tonight. I want you to go out and see Fallon with Moss Family TV. This was her idea, and I copied it from her. So thank you, Fallon, for telling us about this. We'll get to that in a little bit. But I want to try this right now. I told you earlier it's got sausage, it's got green tomatoes, it's got potatoes, it has squash, it's got okra, it's got onions. I mean, that's everything that is a full meal right there. And I want some of this squash. And that is a full meal right there. And I want to scoot it aside because I want some of these tomatoes and one of these green onions. Now, look at my delicious plate. And I know it's going to be hot, but I'm anxious to try it. Oh, this is, I know it. Yeah. I just don't know what else to call this, but just good stuff, because that's what it is. It's all the good stuff together. Mm. But I want to try this dessert. Now, what I did, y'all go out and check out Fallon. Like I said, it's Moss Family TV. And I bought just a frozen pound cake, sliced it, cut it in cubes in the bottom. I made an instant vanilla pudding. This is something quick and easy. I didn't want to make a homemade pudding. Cool Whip, if you want your own homemade whipped cream, that's great. Strawberries. I bought some strawberries, and they're in right now, so get them while you can. Cut them up, put a little sugar, and let them macerate, and then just started layering again. Put a little bit on top to make it pretty with some of that juice, and I've got to give this a try. There's a drop of strawberries. Oh my goodness. Fallon, girl, that is a wonderful idea. Why don't we eat dessert first? That's enough for me and Pop to share. There's no way either one of us could eat that all by ourselves. Anyway, I'm going to have a drink of my tea. And y'all have seen me before, and if you haven't, I've got a video on how I make my sweet tea. I don't make my tea real sweet. Pop and I don't like it really sweet. We don't want unsweet, but we don't like it real sweet either. Just enough sugar to take off that edge. So y'all check that out. I'll try to remember to link the video below in this the description box of this video. So, and y'all check out Moss Family TV. And I hope you'll give this a try. And if you do, please, please, please let me know. And because I really think you'll enjoy it. It is so many vegetables. So y'all, thank you for joining me today. Now, I do hope you'll think about getting my cookbook. Again, you've heard me. I'm working on book number 2. I'm going to put this in there. So I want you to try this. But if you will, please check out my book. I'll put a link below where you can order it. Now, it will take you from my site and take you to my printer, but very safe, very secure, I promise you, and they ship really quickly. Thank you for joining me today. I've got to go get Pop, get him in here, and get him fed. He's babysitting and entertaining Miss Patchy. And so I've got to get him fed so he don't get hungry. But y'all, thanks again. Please come back and see me again. I look forward to our time in the kitchen together. See you soon.